Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm here with Todd White today, and we met up at East Austin at Revival Coffee, and I got my Richard's Rainwater. If you don't know what this is best water on the planet. But for today's video, what we're going to be going over is the necessities for vlogging. Now, I know a lot of people are vlogging, and you might actually have some of these items, but maybe there's some items we can add to it. Or if you're brand new and you're looking to get into it, these are some necessities that I feel like is a must-have for you to start your vlogging channel. Now, another thing that I do want to talk about before we get into this, the equipment that I'm using, some of this is on the, I guess, entry-level price point, but some of this is definitely on the higher end price point. And I just want to make that clear that this is going to translate to any level you're looking at, and you can make it work with whatever. So we're going to be using the full frame Panasonic S5 with the 20-60. Now the S5 is a full frame camera. It's got a really solid autofocusing system, but when you're picking a camera out, make sure that you're going to be going with a camera that offers a flip around screen or a flip down screen or a flip up screen. Just make sure you want to be able to see yourself and what you're doing while you're doing it. So that is really important. Another scenario, instead of me just having it like this, seeing myself, is if I'm a one-man band, I'm gonna actually set it up on a tripod and I'm gonna have to view myself this way. And having a flip out screen makes it so you don't have to get an external monitor, and it's just gonna keep your whole bag smaller. And when you're vlogging, smaller is always better. Now, we picked the 20-60 lens because this is a pretty wide angle on a full frame sensor. So this is going to allow me to, when I'm vlogging in a selfie mode, to get those wide angle shots, to get everything in frame, including my face. But then also at 60 millimeters, if I want to do some up close stuff, maybe some portrait type shots, that's going to be perfect for that. So make sure you get a solid camera with a wide enough lens, the flip out screen. Those are necessities. And like I mentioned earlier, you don't need to get a full frame camera. You can definitely get something like this within a point and shoot, let's say. So just stick to those parameters and I think you'll be solid. Also, if you do decide that you're going to go with a point and shoot or maybe a smaller sensor like an APS-C, 20 millimeters is probably going to be a little too tight for you on that size sensor. So maybe stick to something closer to like a 16, even like a 12 millimeter if possible. Another thing that I feel like is a necessity for your vlogging setup is going to be a solid microphone. Now, we decided to use the Saramonic V-Mic Mini because it is small, compact, and the audio you're going to get from this is going to be tremendously better than the audio that you're going to get from the camera. Another thing that we're adding is going to be what's called a dead cat or a windshield or whatever you want to call it. But this little guy right here, this is going to definitely help out when you're outdoors. It's very windy outside today, so if you're vlogging, having one of these on is going to help out. Next, what we're going to talk about is stabilization. So right here, what I have is a Joby GorillaPod 5K kit. Now, this is the largest one that they make, and this is going to be perfect for full frame mirrorless cameras. Now, one thing that you can use this for, other than it being a tabletop tripod, is if I am vlogging, let's say, if I need to create a little bit more separation, I don't just want to have the camera right on me this way. What I can do is I can drop it in here. So when you have it in this orientation, what you can do is you can hold it further away from yourself, angle it in like a U shape or backward C shape, and angle it towards yourself to create a little bit more separation. Another thing is, since these are adjustable, let's say I'm outdoors, let's say like there's a cool tree nearby, I could actually bend these so I'm able to mount them onto different objects. So these are very versatile and something I also feel like is a necessity in your kit. Besides the Joby Pod, now I said this works as a tabletop tripod. Well, when you're doing a one-man show and you need to film yourself and you don't have a tabletop to put something on, well, I think it's gonna be nice to carry a lightweight travel tripod with you. Now this is a Sirui travel tripod. This is a carbon fiber version. Carbon fiber is gonna be a little bit more steep in price just because of the material you're using. It is a lot more lightweight and it is more stable. And like I said, making sure that your kit is lightweight is definitely going to help out. So having a solid tripod with you is definitely a must. Next on the list, if you don't always have the perfect lighting situation, well, it's going to be nice to have a Nanlite Litolite 5C. This is a very small, compact travel light with you. This also is magnetic, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yes, this one is actually magnetic, so you can stick it on different surfaces. Me and Todd shot downtown once with a nan light that was also magnetic. Wasn't this one, but we were actually able to put this on like a light post and use the light that way. Other than that, this is the full RGBW spectrum. That's going to give you some variations from different colors if you want to do like a artistic choice with your video. But also it is going to be bicolor adjustable, so if you need to match either daylight or tungsten, you're going to be able to do that as well. Now, this does come standard inside the kit to where it can go on top of your camera. That is going to give you a little bit harsh light. So if you do get that harsh light, one thing you want to carry with you is going to be a diffuser for that light as well. So remember, you're not always going to be shooting in optimal lighting situations, so make sure you pack a real nice small light with you. And last but definitely not least on our list is going to be a ProMaster neutral density filter. One thing that I want to say as well, this is, if you don't know what a neutral density filter is, this is basically just like a shade you're putting on the front of your lens. Now where this is going to help, let's say it's very bright outside when we're shooting, and let's say we want to be at a 1.8 aperture and our shutter speed's already stuck because we're shooting, let's say at 24 frames per second, and ISO cannot go any lower. Well, you're still overexposed. Well, that's not going to be an issue. We're just going to pull out this neutral density filter and able to do it that way. So this is really going to help out with bright situations, but also if you're trying to do some, let's say, long exposures in the middle of the day, some shots like that, this is where this is really going to come in handy. So a kind of hack for this is these are different filter sizes. So let's say you have multiple lenses you're taking with you vlogging. Well, a hack around this is to actually get the largest filter size that you have and then get step down rings to fit the smaller lenses. So that's just a hack, gonna save you a little bit of money, and it's gonna make these more versatile. And that money you're saving, invested in a nicer filter, guys. If you're spending a good amount of money on some decent lenses, don't put a cheap filter on it. Get a nicer one. I promise you it makes a difference. And another item that I want to talk about that we don't currently have with us, and I wouldn't say this is a necessity, but it's definitely going to up your vlogging game, is going to be a drone. Now you can get some decently priced drones for around like $500 by DJI, and their Mavic Mini is honestly the perfect travel drone. Now that's just going to add some depth to your video. Now, if you look at these vloggers, they're having all these drone shots and they're getting aerial shots of the location that they're at. So if you do want to add that little, aspect to your video, then I definitely recommend getting something like a DJI Mavic Mini. So that's going to wrap up our vlogging essentials video for today. I'm going to link all of these products down below. If you have any questions on some vlogging setups maybe you're looking at or some items you're looking at, make sure to leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them as much as possible. Like I said again, guys, these are some items, but there are different brands that make almost every item that we have here, some cheaper than others, some more expensive than others. These are what we had available to us. And I think that's kind of something I do want to touch on. Use what's available to you. Get out there, start creating. Other than that, remember to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on our next video.